I'll give you my story. Let me give you a quick, we'll do a little examination on Dillon's life.
Okay.
Started doing insurance in 2018, right? Never did insurance before. Went to college for business in South Carolina. I did 2 years traveling around the country, going to different churches, playing Irish music, and doing kids programs.
Okay.
2 years from Vermont to Florida, different Sunday. It was like a revival thing that we did for churches. Awesome, great experience.
Got it.
Got done with that. Had a guy from Aflac be like, "Hey, I'm hiring." Moved to Michigan. I said, "Hey, I'll follow you." We started a small church plant, or helped a small church plant. That's what brought me and my wife here. It was awesome. Loved it. Love sales. Absolutely. Every morning, what you were talking about, barbershop of like, dude, you wake up, it was like 6 a.m. and then it was 6 p.m. You're like, dude, this is awesome. Like, you didn't feel like you were working.
Right.
And then the first 2 years were great. My wife actually quit her job to come work with me full time.
I read this story actually.
Yeah, you did. Oh, cool. Yeah. And then
COVID
happened.
Yeah.
And then since COVID, man, I have been in this I haven't felt the joy of sales for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of that has been like, okay, well, maybe sales isn't for me. And so then it's like, okay, I should quit and maybe I should just get a 9 to 5 and maybe I should get this. But then every time I think that, I'm like, no, I know I'm an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for those 2 years, those were the most fun days of work in my life. So the question is, I know people experience this. You feel that burnt out feeling.
Right.
How would you recommend somebody to look at what's going on, look at your circumstance, make the best of it, and then decide if it's time to leave that circumstance or if it's time to just man up, nut up, and go kick it?
Do you want the dove answer or the eagle answer?
Let's shoot straight, baby. Shoot straight.
Yeah. So the eagle answer is, if you feel that way, you're not an entrepreneur, right? Like a true entrepreneur actually loves the rut. We love the pressure. Like we love the back against the wall feeling, like the navigating out of the issue and the problem. We get energy from the idea that our situation sucks. And now it triggers this response of, it's on me to try to navigate and get my way out of it, right? And I think what happened for a lot of people pre-COVID, economy was good. There was a lot of money floating around. And going into entrepreneurship seemed really cool and exciting, and the internet was at an all-time high in terms of being able to grow, and people saw it as like the cool thing to do. And so during that time, a lot of people made a lot of money. Like there's real estate agents that were killing it. There's insurance agents that was killing it. Service-based businesses just in general were having record years, right? And if you talk to a lot of conspiracy theorists, they'll tell you that 2020 was really about a reset, right? Like it wasn't about the disease. It was more about...
we can get on that.
That's a whole other conversation, right? So with all that being said, it was a very unrealistic time that a lot of people was living in. And so what happened in 2020 and how it really just kind of like flipped everything upside down was the people that were doing it didn't get, if you were going into that, like, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, you weren't getting a realistic perception or perspective with what entrepreneurship really is about. And if you're in that spot, I would advise to really self-reflect on the things that actually make you happy. Like for me, the feeling that I felt wasn't necessarily about entrepreneurship. The feeling that I felt was the ability to control my day. Like, I can do something that generates revenue for me that still gives me flexibility to be with the kids, to be on a trip, to go to work when I choose, to leave work when I choose. Like that flexibility is really what I craved. And even as a young kid,
why.
that's my why.
That's your
And
why.
even as a young kid growing up, like when I talk about my mom and I talk about my experience as a child, when my mom would call me for school to get out of bed, it would make me cringe. Like I hated it, right? And like I connect that to now. If I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I say I don't feel like doing nothing, I can lay there for the next 4 or 5 hours. I don't have to move.
Yeah.
That is success.
Yeah.
I reached that level maybe 5, 6 years ago, right? And now everything else is bonus. Like I am in a happy place because I have accomplished my childhood dream of controlling my days, right? Now everything else that happens is me literally adding on. I don't need cars. I don't need houses. I don't need fancy things. I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
I don't need it to have
Just give me my time.
joy,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that's what we're really seeking. Like joy and peace of mind is really like, so I admonish like individuals like you or anyone who's in a space of just uncertainty. There has to be a self-reflection, and you can't self-reflect if you don't have the stuff in there to self-reflect with. And that's where the discovery, the books, the reading, the research, all those things come in hand. And there's so much context to this because my ability to self-reflect is based on that 23, 24 to 29, 30-year-old Rob who was in this just extremely intensive mindset of understanding myself.
Yeah.
I was reading 2 books a month. Like I was meeting with 3 to 5 individuals a month, just trying to like understand life. And so now I've put so much in that when I am in a spot where I'm not sure, I can spend a couple hours reflecting and I have the information subconsciously and consciously to be able to evaluate. And so for you, it's like, what brings me peace? What do I enjoy? Right? And then can I monetize or leverage those things to generate money that will take care of my family? Now, that doesn't mean that you can walk away from what you're doing, right? And that's what I was speaking about earlier.
Yep.
If you're in a situation where you feel struggle or stress, now you have to say, how can I leverage this situation, extract skills and connections and relationships that can then support what my plan is. Yeah. The things that I've reflected on that I love and that I enjoy doing. And I think if you can get to that place, that's where like happiness and peace kind of lies. The back and forth is stressful because it's just uncomfortable. Yeah. But you know what everybody says. When you're uncomfortable is actually when you're growing and becoming a better version of yourself. Right? So I don't think it's impossible to evolve into an entrepreneur or to a business person or into a space that is right for you. But I just don't think that a person who has those thoughts is a natural bred. Like, I don't think you were born an entrepreneur, like where I feel like I literally came out the womb to be an entrepreneur. But I think over time, you can develop the muscles and you can develop the attributes that will make you a great, successful entrepreneur over time. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good answer. And I think for a lot of people, I think it'd be cool to do a podcast sometime of like a workshop where I either take a guest or you come back and we really break down and we do almost like some out loud self-reflection on what that would look like. That would be really cool. Yeah. I think for me, where I self-reflect the best is through prayer, for me. So when I pray, that is where I just feel that God helps me really see me for who I am, because we're deceitful. We might not really know who we actually are. And so I know I bring my faith into a lot of stuff. But like when I pray, and by praying, be like, God, like show me. Yeah. And I want to be dependent on you. Show me who I am. Right. That is where I know God has shown me a lot of stuff I need to improve, and he's going to help me improve.
Absolutely.
And dude, that advice was really good. So last takeaway, and then we really got to get to this next segment for time.
Yep.
Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you did enjoy that clip, please hit that like button and the subscribe button. It really helps the show out a lot. It just tells YouTube, hey, this is a show that people want to watch. So I'd appreciate if you did that for me. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next clip.